What's going on? Welcome back. It is Kyle and Kristen here, and we are back again with our YouTube book club.
Yes, we are reading All That Remains by the Minimalist, and this week we're doing chapter 3.
Chapter 3 is called American Tragedy.
Yes.
So instead of American Dream, American Tragedy. So first things first, let's get this out of the way. Yes, I am wearing a new shirt. Thank you for noticing. And so I actually have to get rid of it. I actually have to get rid of an old shirt. One of the strategies to minimalism is a 1-for-1. So if you get a new thing, you got to get rid of an old thing. It helps so you don't get cluttered. Right. Anyway, let's move on. So we chose this book months ago because, well, like most people, I saw the documentary The Minimalists on Netflix and sort of really attached myself to the idea of not cluttering your life with things. And this book is all about the why to become minimalist. And so chapter 3, if you've read chapter 1 and chapter 2, if you haven't, I'll link them up here and down below, the previous chapters if you're interested. Chapter 3 starts out after the author, after his mom had passed away, and actually his mom passed away, and in the same year, his marriage ended. And so it takes us through that emotional journey of, okay, now this 6-year marriage is over, and now what? He moves out from, he moves away from his wife, gets his own apartment, and he has to face some things that he never had to face before. Right.
So what's interesting is through the beginning of the book, our author told us a little bit about his childhood, and then as a child, all he was really looking in his adult life to do was to have a big job so he can have an expensive car, lots of nice things. So he has all that, but he's also realizing he's lacking a lot of things as well.
Well, he wanted the American dream, basically. And so once he had been divorced from his wife, he was sitting there in his apartment alone, and he had already went to IKEA and got all the things that you're supposed to get for your apartment, right? All the things that you just have to have. And he started asking himself important questions that he had never asked himself before. He started to reflect back on his marriage, and he realized he was kind of a bad husband. He never did anything, quote, wrong, but little things, like he never would, like he would be eating a meal with his wife at at a restaurant or something, and be busy on his phone answering emails and not present and not actively involved with the person that's right there. And he got so caught up in the American dream of having the fancy job and all the accomplishments and getting higher up in the ranks and getting more stuff and more acclimates and things and money, that what was in front of him, he didn't even know his marriage was starting to deteriorate. Right,
until it was too late. They had divorced, and he's just kind of left with a bit of a broken life here. On the outside, he still has a great job, lots of nice things, but he really starts to realize that he feels lost and empty inside.
And so that's where he really starts to go into like talking about the American dream and how it is to accumulate all of this stuff, and that's the status symbol, the logoed clothes and the nice cars, and we think that we need all these things to make us happy, but when in reality, these things are just blinding us from what really does make us happy. If you spend your whole life chasing things and accomplishments, you might look up one day and realize that your marriage is ending, or you truly aren't happy. Success just brings on wanting to gain more success, or things, when you get things, you just want more things. And he really kind of just speaks about that, about how having all this stuff, he realized it actually wasn't making him happy at all.
Yeah, he realized that, like, basically he was lost, didn't really know like what his passion was, and was starting to have like nightmares and just really like starting to like be in crisis.
I mean, yeah, like one of my fears is, one of the reasons why I daily vlog and try to live every day to the fullest and make every day the best day, is because one of my fears in life is to look up one day and realize I just wasted 50 years of my life, or sitting in my rocking chair when I'm 80, 85, 90 years old and regretting things that I didn't do. And so going through the motions and in life and just getting caught up in material possessions and chasing things that aren't important and worrying about things that aren't important, that's something, that actively I'm fearful of. And so that's why I try to live my life in a certain way. He talks about trying to then maybe live a life with more purpose, not just accumulating things and doing what, the quote American dream, but living a life of purpose. So now that we kind of talked about the summary of the chapter, we're going to sort of like go a little bit into like what it means for us. And so this is also the point where we would definitely like you guys to comment down below, how did this chapter connect with you, or what part of this chapter resonates, or how can you relate to it, what part of your story can you share. And so for me, like I shared just a little bit ago, that's like my biggest fear in life is, people, especially if we're about to have a child, Lincoln's coming May 11th, hopefully May 11th, we'll see if it comes early or late, whatever, but people can continue to tell us, enjoy it because it's gonna go fast. Enjoy it because you're gonna look up and he's gonna be an adult. And I've been hearing that my whole life, and I don't want that, right? Like I want every day to be purposeful. I want to be mindful of everything. I want to live my days one day at a time and not just go through the motions and look up one day and go, wow, it went 30 years.
Right.
And so I don't try to get caught up in material possessions. I have them, and there's nothing wrong with having them. The things that I own give me value. And if it doesn't, we're gonna do a spring purge when spring rolls around. And we're gonna get rid of the things that don't provide us value. And it's not even just, it's not all just about stuff either. It's about because there's nothing wrong with having a nice TV or a nice couch or a nice car. But what's wrong is pursuing the wrong things and blindly pursuing things like material items and wealth and not stopping and thinking, what actually makes me happy? Am I truly happy? When's the last time I experienced joy? Am I being mindful every day? Or is every day just kind of blurring together? Am I going through the motions? Like that's what I want to avoid. And I don't, so again, there's nothing wrong with having material items or wanting material things, but not also taking an inward look at yourself and thinking, am I truly living a purposeful, driven life? Am I doing something that matters? Am I living out my passions? Am I being a good person? Am I being a good husband, a good father? That's how I try to live my life. I'm not perfect at it, but that's kind of my goal. And that's how this chapter sort of resonates with me. Right.
And then I guess for me, like, I can definitely relate to like some of what like Kyle's saying about having fear about like not living a life of like up to your potential or just having a meaningful life. And for me, something that I really learned that's meaningful to me is we're talking like when you die, you can't take things with you. So basically what you have,
unless you're a pharaoh,
right?
Which I'm not.
Which I don't think so. Last time I checked.
No.
Nope, I don't think so. Okay, good. Thanks for checking. You you have the memories and the lives that you've touched and how that lives on in others. So like relationships are super important to me. So what my fear is that one day I would die and people that are close to me wouldn't really know how special they are to me. That would be one of my fears. And to be, caught up so much in what I think I should be doing instead of what is really important to me. And I think what it means to me to be a good, purpose-driven person.
Well said. I like that. Yeah, I think it's all about pursuing happiness and whatever that means for you. But so many times in our life we do just go through the motions. I mean, how many times have you just had your morning coffee and just slugged it down and been thinking about something else in work or whatever and stop and think, man, did I really enjoy that, right? Like did I, or I don't know how many times, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to school and not remembered anything because I was in my head the whole time, but like enjoying my commute. My 35-minute commute, actually enjoying it, like sipping my tea or my coffee, listening to a good podcast, like listening to something on the radio or podcast that can actively make me a better person, or I can learn something new instead of just being in my head or listening to whatever smut these kids listen to on the radio, these youths. But so just like living with purpose and meaning, whatever that means for you. So like I said, comment down below, what does this chapter mean to you? How did it resonate with you? And we really look forward to doing chapter 4.
Yeah.
Getting back at this.
It's a good book.
It is a really good book.
Thanks for reaching out to us. I know that we definitely got a comment like, hey, I'm looking forward to this book club. So it was really nice to have that so we could re-engage.
So we will see you again next Sunday for chapter 4.
Indeed.
And happy reading. See you next time. Find your gift.
Share it with the world.
And remember,
you are worth it.
See you tomorrow.